So here's a new score. CNN. Now, CNN, I don't want to bury the news, but they're having their worst ratings week in 9 years. And why is, I got to show you this video because it's funny. What happened was Donald Trump is no longer president, and CNN doesn't have catnip for the people who hate Donald Trump because that's all they were. They're not a news station. They were your get your 5 minutes of hate. Hang on, let me find some. Here we go.
I think Trump's when it really became absolutely insufferable. Like, right?
Yes. Here we go.
Everybody here keeps talking about ideology and politics. Money. Donald Trump has been very, very good for baseball. He has been wonderful for the industry. Your boss acknowledged as much a number of months ago during the campaign.
Les Moonves.
Donald Trump, huh?
It was Les Moonves who acknowledged
Les Moonves also acknowledged it, but so did the head of CNN.
But that means what?
If
ratings are up, that means what?
The ratings are up. It means you can't do without Donald Trump. You would be lost without Donald Trump.
Well, that is what he says.
Ted, you know that's not true.
CNN's ratings would be in the toilet without Donald Trump.
You know that's not true. You're playing for laughs. You've lived through enough presidencies to know
Hold on a
there will be
second,
more
Brian.
presidents.
What were the ratings before Trump and what are the ratings now?
So this is my favorite question. What were the ratings before Trump and what were the ratings now? Now, he's the media critic for CNN. All he does is report on media. So do you think he would know off the top of his head how much their ratings are up or down since Donald Trump? Of course he knows that number. Let's listen.
I would say we might be up 20. We might be up 30%. We might be up 40%.
You might be up 40%, which they were up more than that. But he's not sure. It could be 20, could be 40. You mean you could be 100% off?
Hey, I'm a critic, not a percent guy.
Yeah, right. You could be 100% off on what your ratings are, either 20 or 40. That's 100% increase.
He just worries about the artistry of what he does, the craft.
So watch. That's right. So watch how the crowd laughs in his face over this, right? So that's when you know he's full of shit. He's not used to talking in front of crowds who actually laugh in his face when he says something that's stupid. Let me back it up just a little, give a running start.
I would say we might be up 20. We might be up 30%. We might be up 40%. If we go back down 40%, that's okay too.
Well, it may not be okay.
Of course it is. Hold on. I reject the premise.
He rejects the premise what?
That these networks are making so much money off of Trump and thus we benefit from it.
The guy that owns it is saying that, you moron.
The guy who owns it said it.
I refused. Well, I know he said it, but I refuse to accept it.
Yes, we do good work.
Oh, my dear God.
And also the head of CBS, Les Moonves, was caught on an audio recording, which we played on this show, where he said, Donald Trump, boy, grunt, go, baby, go. He's bad for America, but he's good for CBS.
They got an even bigger chuckle with that.
Yes.
What he should have done, if Brian Stelter had any brain to be on his feet, he should have just called out Dan Rather on saying Betty good for being racist.
Ted Koppel.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Ted Koppel.
Yeah, you can see the crowd was a little uncomfortable. Ted Koppel didn't realize that had gone from being a staple of a comedy bit on Saturday Night Live and in just 30, 40 years, it turned into something totally racist.
I don't even know he was referencing, but I know it was racist.
He was referencing...
Betty good. Oh.
So don't you remember on Saturday... Maybe you're too young. So when I was a kid on Saturday Night Live, they used to have Garrett Morris, and he would pretend that he was a baseball player from, I don't know, the Dominican Republic or somewhere. And he would come out Weekend Up, and he goes, baseball been Betty good to me. And that was basically the joke. And so CNN has suffered its worst ratings week in 9 years. CNN just notched its lowest ratings in 9 years across all day parts for the week of January 16th through January 22nd, 2023. According to Nielsen Average, just 444,000 viewers in primetime, 93,000 in the all-important age demo between 25 and 54, and 417,000 in viewers and 80,000 in demo for the total day. Now, Kurt, you're an Emmy Award winning writer in show business, and you've worked in show business a long time. Can you tell me what the hell that means?
What, the Nielsen
So
averaging?
it says 444,000 viewers in prime time. So I know when prime time is.
It's all about the demographics.
So wait, let me just so that means total they had 444,000 viewers in prime time, right? for at any given hour.
Right.
Right? That's what that means during prime time. Prime
so.
time being between, let's say, 7 and 9 o'clock. 6 and 9. When is prime time? 6 and 10.
7. Probably 7.
7 and 10. I think
Yeah.
it's 7 and 10.
Yeah, it is 7 and 10.
So that's prime time. So they get 444,000 viewers between 7 and 10 at. Now, 93,000 of those are in between 25 and 54. You get the most money for those from advertisers. So these are low numbers.
Hey, Brian Stelter, why would they even keep track of these numbers if it wasn't about the money?
I know.
What are you talking about, you idiot?
You know what? I'm finding this about primetime. They say Nielsen finds that more Americans tune in from 9:15 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. than any other period during primetime.
All right.
And they said traditional primetime is 8 to 11 o'clock at night.
So 8 to 11 Eastern and Pacific, 7 to 10 in the Midwest, which is where I grew up. So, but here's the thing I don't understand. It said, but now with the 417,000 viewers, well, I thought it was 444 and 80,000 in the demo for the total day. What does that mean? So I guess it averages 417,000 viewers and 80,000 in the demo at any given time during the day. I think that's what that means.
Okay.
So those are low numbers. Wouldn't you say those are low numbers? I would say it's the first time since May 2014 that the network failed to reach 450,000 viewers. It is low.
Yeah, I mean, I was to say because they're saying it. Like,
I mean, now we drop an episode of this show and they get that many, way more than that.
I can't believe how low all the things. Like when I was doing Gutfeld, I was like, dude, I can't believe you're the number one.
They're the number
I would
one.
have never thought.
Gutfield is the number one late night talk show.
Like the people that actually do comedy, like that's their whole goal. It's not a political thing at all.
Right? They can't beat that guy.
They can't beat a thing that's kind of both.
Yeah, he's more politics than comedy, for sure. Greg Gutfeld. By comparison, during the same period, Fox News drew 1.4 million viewers. Wow, so that's almost 1 million more viewers Fox News had.
Wow.
And 176,000 in the demo. So that's double. So they got 1 million more overall and double their demo.
Imagine if Tucker Carlson was getting advertisers.
Imagine if he was. He's not getting advertisers.
It's got to be a big money maker, I bet.
And then in prime time, Fox News had 2 million viewers, so even more. And MSNBC had 943,000 viewers and 90. So, wow, Fox News is kicking their ass. Some especially troublesome news of the week's Nielsen numbers is that new CEO Chris Licht, is that his name? Licht.
Mm-hmm.
Licht primary programming move. CNN this morning also suffered so that's the new Don Lemon show, right? CNN this morning also suffered the lowest week since its launch just 3 months ago. It averaged just 331,000 viewers, while Fox and Friends had nearly 1 million. And Morning Joe!
Wow, people aren't into Morning Lemon? Should call it the Lemon Party.
Licht handpicked CNN's Don Lemon, Poppy Harlow, and Caitlin Collins to host the rebooted morning show, but so far, the trio is failing to grow its audience. An individual with knowledge of the situation told The Wrap exclusively last week that EP Eric Hall, that's the executive producer, Eric Hall, was being reassigned to CNN Tonight, hosted by Laura Coates, signaling that Licht is aware that the show needs to perform better. Insiders also told The Wrap that even hosts Lemon, Harlow, and Collins seem to be growing frustrated over the direction. So supposedly they don't have good chemistry, but we can't be sure since no one's watching.
Somebody tell Lick this blows. This sucks.
The show can't decide strategically what exactly it is, so it's trying to be everything, which can create whiplash for a viewer when segments seem off-brand and in tonality. The audience for morning news on network TV is different than the cable news audience, and since we're not gaining new viewers, we definitely need to retain our legacy ones. Wow, maybe get tourists to hold up signs outside the window while you're broadcasting.
That was a good big innovation of
That was
Jeff Zucker, right?
That was great.
Guy really made the Today Show.
What people want to see is rando tourists standing outside a window in the back of a TV studio.
Yeah.
That helps. CNN will soon be launching a revamped daytime slate and anchored trios that aim to take a fresh approach. I'm one of the trio to its daytime programming through 2 new programs. The network will host a standalone weekday 9 to 12 p.m. Eastern block anchored by John Berman, Kate Bolduan, and Sarah Sidner. Never heard of any of them.
Yeah, I was just going to go, never heard of them. I was about to blurt that out.
They're out of CNN's New York studios, Kurt, while the subsequent 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. slot is going to be given to Howard Stern. No. Eastern standalone program will be hosted by Brianna Keeler. They are cleaning house.
Yeah.
Jim Sciutto, though, he's been there before. So they're bringing in all new people. So they don't want any of those stink of the Trump hate on them. So I think that's why they're getting rid of that, right?
You know, I mean, but they still got lemon and
Squeeze
a little lemon on it. That's what they say.
But insiders we spoke to fear that things are unlikely to get better.
Why? Why do you fear that?
Hey, can I still get some of that great innovative programming from CNN Plus? Or is that all the way dead? Because I've always wanted to see Chris Wallace make an omelet. Upcoming programming changes are likely to make matters worse, one insider told us. This is so well deserved for the country. CNN turned itself into a fanatical political pack during the Trump era, got a few quick sugar highs, hired an army of U.S. security state operatives, and ratified one lie after the next with no retractions or accountability. That is exactly what CNN did.
I'm glad that one kid got money out of him that the Trump had that they tried to destroy.
Oh, yeah,
him.
that's right. On a personal level, I don't like seeing people fail. Oh, come on.
Oh, my God.
Come on. Hey, on a personal level, come on. I'll give it to him. I have friends who work at CNN I like and respect. So maybe that's...
I know how he feels because I have all kinds of friends who are journalists that I knew for years, especially in New York. People I still know. And I'm like, they're all like... ultimately like working stiff chumps, you know what I mean? Like they all have a job that they're worried about keeping above all.
Yeah.
And they're all going to be drummed out of whatever the hell they're in.
Just like show business. People are afraid to lose their job tomorrow.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Like,
oh, on a personal level, I don't like seeing people fail. Okay, I won't challenge the veracity of that statement. He knows people who work at CNN, and he respects them, okay. But when a news outlet constantly gets caught lying and refuses even to acknowledge it, they deserve to collapse and disappear. Good riddance. Doesn't sound like you feel that bad about them failing.
I feel like it's a success for the people that could get out of the belly of that beast.
The worst part is these toxic, willful liars constantly posture as owners of truth. They never stop hectoring everyone about how they are bulwarks against disinformation. Oh, boy, he's nailing it here.
I mean, okay, Stelter's chunky, but I wouldn't call him a bulwark.
I wouldn't call him a bulwark. Although, if you saw his ankles, maybe you would. The most aggressive, casual, and harmful disseminators of disinformation are the largest media corporations, and that is exactly true. The biggest liars and spreader of disinformation would be the government. Second would be the corporate media. Third would be everybody else. Let's watch this. This is great. Let me see. Well, Glenn, you can flush a turd, but it comes out the pipe somewhere. And here it comes.
Hi, thank you for coming. My name is Christopher Phillips. I'm a first year at the college.
Just look at the disinformation and the erosion of democracy.
Wait, I thought he was fired from CNN. Oh, this isn't a CNN show? Okay.
And so here he is. This is before when he still had his job.
They should put a big arrow pointing at his head.
Okay, here we go.
Questions for Mr. Stelter. You've all spoken extensively about Fox News being a purveyor of disinformation. But CNN is right up there with them. They pushed the Russian collusion hoax. They pushed the Jussie Smollett hoax. They smeared Justice Kavanaugh as a rapist, and they also smeared Nick Sandmann as a white supremacist. And yes, they dismissed the Hunter Biden laptop affair as pure Russian disinformation. With mainstream corporate journalists becoming little more than apologists and cheerleaders for the regime, is it time to finally declare that the canon of journalistic ethics is dead or no longer operative? All the mistakes of the mainstream media, and CNN in particular, seem to magically all go in one direction. Are we expected to believe that this is all just some sort of random coincidence, or is there something else behind it?
It's too bad. It's time for lunch.
You have 30 seconds.
That's a great name for Brian
there's a
Stelter
clock that says
show.
30
Too bad time for lunch.
Too bad time for lunch.
Seconds. It's too bad.
So now let's watch Brian Stelter.
You know what I would have asked him? Did it hurt you emotionally when Batman defused your penguin bombs?
Quack, quack. So here we go. Watch Brian Stelter try to.
It's time for lunch.
You have 30 seconds.
No, I mean
Brian.
there's a clock that says 30 seconds. But I think my honest answer to you, and I'll come over and talk in more detail after this, is that I think you're describing a different channel than the one that I watch.
Yeah, which are you watching? Fox? Because he described CNN. I don't know, which channel are you watching?
MSNBC, probably.
Right, are you watching MSNBC? Because he described CNN to a T.
People from the government don't want to work for us anymore. They go to MSNBC.
understand that is a popular right-wing narrative about CNN. I think
that is a popular right-wing narrative. Everything he said was true. You guys got sued by that Sandman guy. Everything that guy said was true, and then he pretends like that's just right-wing spin.
He said specific things. Those not narrative. Those are the things that happen.
Those are broad generalizations. He's giving you the facts.
It's important when we talk about shared reality and democracy. All these networks, all these news outlets have to defend democracy. And when they screw up, admit it.
They have to defend democracy. And when they screw up, I like how he says screw up.
I wouldn't want to have to share reality or a pie with him.
When you lie about Russiagate at the top of your lungs, that's not you screwing up. That's you being cancer on our country. And that's what CNN is. When you lie and you red bait for ratings, you are a cancer. You didn't defend democracy and screw up. First of all, there's no goddamn democracy to defend, and you fucking should know that. But you're so stupid you don't, because he lives in his corporate bubble and he's part of the machine. He doesn't. You have to know you're in a prison first to escape it, and he doesn't know. So it's everything bad you could think of and say he's revealing about them. Completely out of touch. When you're confronted with your foibles and your shortcomings, you ignore them. He's
just the most sniveling suck up on every level. Like I'll say any of the things, please.
Anything.
Do anything. You tell me.
That's not the channel I'm watching. Well, it's the channel everyone else is watching, you liar. And that's why people laugh in your fucking face. Okay. So is it time for our interview? So we're going to have Dan Cohen come on. We're going to be talking about there's a new guy replacing Fauci. And he's worse than Fauci, if that's possible. Hey, we're doing live stand-up comedy in Los Angeles, Tempe, Arizona, Palm Springs, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, Nashville, Northampton, Massachusetts, and a lot more places. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets and become a premium member while you're there. You get access to all of our stuff. See you then.